What's good, YouTube? In this video we're going to be talking about PathFinder. Now PathFinder recently got a buff, also a nerf I guess in some sort of way, to him in the new season, which is season 7. And I wanted to talk about PathFinder because that's the main legend I use, and to be honest it's really the only legend I feel like I could use now in this season 7, which is great because I love playing as PathFinder. Usually every season, you know, I'll play, my main will be PathFinder, but then I'll usually switch off other characters to, you know, have fun in the game. But in this season, I feel like PathFinder is one of the best legends, if not the best legend, because just the fact that the buff that they added to his grapple, also the fact that this map allows him to get high ground or escape with his grapple, and it's so much different playing as a different character that doesn't have that ability, or that doesn't have that ability to get on top of high ground or just to escape. Like, this map I feel like is dedicated to characters like PathFinder. Also characters like Horizon, Octane, and Wraiths. You know, Wraiths are always good. But yeah, the buff that they added to PathFinder in this season was the fact that they doubled his range for his grapple. So majority of grapples now are really, you'll get them back for anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds. Now last season when they did the change to his grapple where they added a timer on it, was majority of the time you're still going to get grapples at 35 seconds. And back then in season 6. But now, if you are someone who's just going to go on top of height, majority of the time, that's just a 10-second grapple. Which those are probably one of the most helpful grapples, just to get on top of height when you're on low ground. And it allows you to be so much aggressive with PathFinder. So, usually you're getting 10 to 20 seconds on the cooldown to your grapple. And, also, they added the fact that his maximum timer for his grapple cooldown is now 30 seconds instead of 35 seconds. Now the nerf that they gave to PathFinder was a nerf to where I guess they changed his hitbox and made him, I guess, a little bit more easier to hit. They did say that if there was anything, they wanted to see how his win rate and the percentage of how people use him and stuff, how often people use him. They'll decide on whether they're going to take low profile off or not, which is something I hope they would do. But to be honest, I feel like you see so many PathFinders now that he's probably not going to get low profile off. But I think PathFinder is in a good state right now. Now he's a big character, so that's sometimes that, you know, makes me mad when I use him, because you're getting beamed easily with him. But to be fair, you do have that escape ability with his grapple. Now season 7, I have been using PathFinder mainly and just using him a lot, and this is probably the first time where I said that PathFinder is the best legend in the game, or if not one of the best legends in the game. I've always thought that, you know, Gibby or Wraith are better than him, but those are characters that, you know, aren't able to get high ground or stuff like that, so it's so hard to me to play with those other characters. PathFinder this season is a character that can help the team in so many ways. Like with his zipline, you could use that thing, and PathFinder is a great legend to have on a team because of his abilities. The fact that you could use the zipline to get your team on top of high ground or get your team from one area to another in a very quick time is very helpful. That's one of the biggest reasons of using PathFinder and how he's a really good legend to have on the team, because of that zipline ability. Also the fact that he can help the team, especially having a new map, you can help the team a lot by scanning beacons and having the ability to see where the circle is going to end or seeing where the next circle is going to be. Also, something that some people may not know, but if you hit the beacon, you get your ultimate right away, and you also get a cooldown reduction to your ultimate by 10 seconds every time you hit the beacon. And I think his ultimate cooldown isn't that bad. I think it's only like a minute 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. but his cooldown reduction to his ultimate is one of the quickest on the compared to other legends. Now, in my opinion, for Pathfinder, I hope that, you know, I'm happy if he stays how he is. You know, I understand that there's some positives and also negatives about him when you're playing him and also when you're playing against him. So I think he's at a good state. I think in season 5 they messed him up when they took his grapple from 15 to 35 seconds. So I think he's at a good state now. The buff to his grapple has been the best thing as a Pathfinder main, and also real fun to use him. You can use him really aggressive now. You can go into gunfights with him with the grapple, and then also get out of gunfights with it. So it's been real fun playing as him. Hopefully they don't change him. And yeah, usually when I'm playing as Pathfinder, the main guns that I like to use for him are like a G7, and then my secondary for sure, I usually like to have a Mastiff, because once you hurt the enemies or, you know, damage them or whatever, knock them, you could full send and go in there with your grapple to, you know, finish them off with a Mastiff. So having a Mastiff is probably the best gun to have with Pathfinder, just because you could just grapple and just rush them easily, and they won't even expect it. So having a Mastiff is always a gun that I usually like to have. Also, another tip is that, you know, when using Pathfinder, in my opinion, I feel like you want to stay a distance from enemies, unless if it's a for sure kill, like if you're chasing somebody, because, you know, he's such a big character and his hitbox is like, you know, bigger compared to other characters. So in 1v1 situations where you're up close with enemies, if you're fighting a smaller character, they'll usually have the upper advantage. So that's usually why I do carry Mastiffs, and also why my primary will be a gun like a G7, a Hemlock, or even an R3, so I can stay a distance. And also, if you're using Pathfinder, you know, Pathfinder is the king of height, so you want to get height, get upper ground on your enemies. You know, that's one of the main or biggest reasons why someone is using Pathfinder. You know, also another reason why they would be using Pathfinder is because they have his grapple to where he can escape. You know, him and Wraith are probably the best two characters that have that escape ability. So, you know, use that to your advantage. You know, something I always do with Pathfinder is always practice with him in the firing range, practice on the grapples. And like I said, Pathfinder he's one of the funnest characters to use in the game right now, and also in my opinion, one of the best legends to use, and also a really good legend to have on a team. So you see it, that's the reason why you see a lot of people using Pathfinders this season. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Pathfinder. If you guys like the video, leave a like, comment, and also subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video.
proximity. Less than 1 minute. Move this way.
We're inside the ring. Oh, painless, not.
Frag out.
Pop in the chimney.
Thermite grenade out. Reloading.
Reloading. That was the whole. Spotted. I'm the kill leader. Ready to bear.
You are the Apex Champions.